You've all been waiting for it. Welcome to the final episode of 64 Bourbons Under $100.
We got there and we told you we would. So we're going to do 3 tastings, 3 matchups in this episode. It'll be round 5 and round 6.
The final 4 and the championship.
You got it. But before we do that, we're going to do a little bit of recapping how we got there. So if you're just wanting the action, the matches, there are chapter marks down there and you can go ahead and hop over to one of those.
And if you are joining us for the first time and this recap doesn't quite satisfy your curiosity, you can go to the playlist of the 55 videos that it took to make this series. And I know some of you that have been along for the ride have been feeling those 55 videos.
That's right.
But no one can say we didn't work for it.
Due diligence is our middle name. We want to just quickly start by reminding everyone how this whole thing started.
How did we get here?
We put some polls out there to our viewers to vote on bourbons that you would want to see in this, and we told you all not to vote on anything that you can't go out and readily find or find on the shelf. So there were a few things that some people were like, why is this one in here? Weller 107 being one of those.
It got a lot of votes.
But it got a lot of votes.
Speaking of votes, these were seeded based on the number of votes they got. So if you thought maybe, oh, this matchup wasn't fair based on proof or availability or whatever, the way that they were seeded was based off of the number of votes.
That's right. So if a bourbon got the most number of votes, it became the number 1 seed. The 16th most voted upon bourbon got the 16th seed. All right, so since we are down to 4, let's take a little trip down memory lane. We're going to start with the $25 and under category, which Old Forester 100. Yeah, so the first one versus the Four Roses 80 proof.
Not that intense.
Not that intense. It moved on.
Not very surprising there, but what is surprising is Evan Williams Bottled and Bond in the next matchup. I think that's a very even matchup, but it edged it out.
Sure did. Then was the even harder one, Benchmark Full Proof. This is one that I had a little bit of trouble accepting, but it did what it did.
Shocked. Last matchup was Old Granddad Bottled and Bond. Again, a very even match in terms of proof, and it took the win.
Moving on to the $25 to $50 category, we're looking at Early Times Bottled and Bond. Its first match was against Maker's Mark Cast Strength.
Talk about really punching above your weight class in terms of proof.
It beat it, and that put it up against Eagle Rare.
Which, again, I feel like with a proof difference of 10 points, you would think things are going to be on the Early Times Bottled and Bond side, but Eagle Rare has that age.
10 years.
Yeah.
Which then took it on to, I would say, an even harder matchup with Old Granddad 114. OGD 114, another surprise to me.
So it beat out Maker's Mark Cast Strength at a higher proof. It beat out Old Granddad 114 at a higher proof. And then it went on to take on 1792 full proof, 125 proof. And guess what? It won. Obviously, you already know that.
Moving on to the $50 to $75 category, we're looking at Rare Breed. The first matchup was against the 16th seed Pursuit United, which is a very strong contender, but going up against a Legacy and Rare Breed, I mean, that was a tough one. I know the Pursuit fans didn't like seeing that matchup on the bracket.
But Rare Breed was kind of the, I don't know, I would call it the favorite of the whole bracket so far. Next it took on Wilderness Trail 6 year. Again, not a huge surprise that Rare Breed took it out. It has the proof, right? And we do love Rare Breed. We've been saying that for forever.
The next one was Weller 107, but in the end, when it was blind, it didn't matter. Rare Breed took it out.
Then Rare Breed went on to face another fan favorite, Knob Creek Single Barrel, and one that we love. And that was a close tasting.
Such a Sophie's choice.
Oh, such a good matchup. And I recommend you do that one at home. We'd love to know which one you would pick.
Moving on to the $75 to $100 plus wildcard category. We've explained in previous videos what the wildcard means. Go back to one of those if you would like to know. But we're looking at Four Roses Small Batch Select, and its first matchup was against another Maker's product, Maker's 46. This one, not so surprising.
No, I would agree with that. Then went on to face Russell's Reserve Single Barrel, which, I mean, I would have put all my eggs in that basket.
And I did.
But it turns out that this Four Roses Small Batch Select, I guess it must be all those different recipes blended together that make it super excellent because it took out that Russell Single Barrel.
That's one that went to that was split decision. I had the Russells and I went to Chad for the tiebreaker, and that's what made it move on.
And he chose right. No, I'm just kidding. I still love Russell.
The next one was against 1792 Small Batch. Not really
not a shock there.
A shock here. It's actually a shock that 1792 small batch made it as far as it did. I mean, good for it.
I kind of
But
think
the
so
Four
too.
Roses made it up to the next matchup.
Which is Peerless Double Oaked. And this was our only double oak to make it that far, our only
Correct.
finish. And that was the only finish that was allowed. It did beat it out. And that one I had a hard time with because I really like Peerless Double Oak.
Which means we're looking at Old Forester 100, Early Times Bald and Bond, Rare Breed, and Four Roses Small Batch Select represented in these four bottles. Now I know when it gets down this far, it's hard not to kind of guess what you're drinking,
Right.
but between these two matchups, we don't know which is which.
We don't know which is which round or which is A and which
Yeah.
is B.
And now it's time to get into it. We know this simply as Bourbon A.
I don't want to pick. It smells so good.
caramel.
Caramel, cinnamon,
Yeah,
cinnamon
yeah.
rolls with the cream cheese frosting.
Oh, it smells good. Want to taste it? Wow, that's syrupy. Silky, lots of the classic caramel vanilla on that guy.
A little bit of baking spice, again, that cinnamon. It almost has that, again, like I said, cinnamon roll frosting, that like
Yep.
oily, slightly creamy, buttery frosting thing going on. A touch of, I would say, dry and like black pepper towards the finish, but
Yes.
subtle barrel influence, subtle fruitiness.
Well, it rolls into more barrel influence on the finish.
Agreed.
It does go darker there. Not really tannic, but I could see it sort of flirting, which means this is Bourbon B. Now this one I'm getting more fruity. I'm getting a little bit of banana on here.
Muddled fruits and brown sugars and,
A little brighter,
yeah, a touch of floral, a touch of fruit,
slightly more citrus.
touch of barrel,
Yeah.
touch of sweetness.
Touch
I
of
like
gray.
that. Touch of gray, just for men. I like
Hey.
this mouthfeel.
Yeah.
It's so rich, and it doesn't quite go into that dryness. It's almost like that feeling when you bite into like a really juicy peach or something. The way it's just like stays with you. Also a touch of spice, also a touch of oak, lighting up, you know, each of these little areas on the
Yeah.
flavor wheel. Plus, it has a nice mouthfeel.
I feel like on paper these are probably the same proof maybe, or very close to it, but B seems to give more of a perception of proof. Feel it a little bit more in the chest feels. I don't know if that's because it's B and it's just accumulating or
Right.
what, but
We'll have to go back through.
anecdotally that's how I feel. Well, I guess now it's time to, go back to A, get that on the palate again, see how B has affected A.
Oh, I do like that. I do like that.
Nose, I might have to give it to A, to be honest with you.
It's more traditional with that extra carameliness, but I really like B. Really solid.
Yeah.
Really pleasing.
Wow.
It does go into that char, dry thing on the finish. Like you said, bitter, tannic, wood,
Flirty.
ash.
Flirting.
Flirting.
It's like,
Again,
yoo-hoo,
this
tannic.
is yoo-hoo. That's
That's
how you flirt.
right?
Is that how you got me?
Yeah, I dropped a handkerchief.
Well, I never.
What are your intentions with my daughter?
Oh, jeez. Okay, back to B. I gotta give the mouthfeel to B. Nose-wise, I think
Nose
it's
is A.
fair to give it to A.
Yeah.
Mouthfeel, I am certainly B.
I could
Tannic
see
finish.
giving the finish to B, but
It also
I'm-
goes on for, it makes me more of a
Yeah.
Kentucky hug.
I agree with that, but I think I would give the palate to A.
But I don't think you could go wrong with either of these. Let it be known right now, both of these are great.
This is a good matchup.
It's a really good matchup.
I've been back and forth, A to B, B to A to B, B plus A equals C somehow.
The number
and,
23.
By a whisker, B.
Okay. We ended up on the
So-
same page.
Advancing to the championship round.
Are you guys ready? You already know.
We
You
have
already
picked
know what it is.
B, and it is Old Forester 100 proof. It has taken down Early Times Bottled in Bond.
Excellent matchup. Now, Chad, the Early Times Bottled and Bond was a Brown-Forman product.
Correct, and what is in the bottle is still distilled at Brown-Forman at the recording of this video.
Right. So we had
You're looking at two Brown-Formans.
Brown-Forman v. Brown-Forman.
Yeah.
And they tasted,
Brother versus brother.
not very different, but they did not taste like they were
Well,
in the same family.
Different mash bills.
Different mash bills,
Yeah.
right? Brown-Forman putting up some really great 100 proof
Putting up the numbers.
products there.
Yeah.
Again, as we've mentioned before, Early Times Bottled and Bond changes coming to what's inside there. We don't know when, we don't know
I
how.
mean, it'll still be, sometime.
But for now,
yeah.
both of these for like what, under $30 around?
Yeah.
Both of them for under $30.
Two different price categories, but yeah, you're looking at under 30 for both of these.
And when you consider that you get a liter for the Early Times Bottled and Bond.
Value City. Let's drink some water, eat some crackers, pour up this next round, and see what the last one going to the championship round is.
Chad, I don't know how I'm gonna make a decision about the next round because I can't even decide if I'm hot or cold.
Yeah, jacket's back on. Yeah.
I know, it's hot outside, cold here. I don't know what's
Well, I'll
going
give you a little extra time to decide because before we go on, we want to tell you about our home on the internet. It's whiskyambitions.com, where right now we are celebrating our 7-year channel anniversary. Yes, 7 years of It's Bourbon Night, with discounts and sales on there right now that'll be going through July 17th. That applies to everything. We're talking about the t-shirt that I'm wearing, our hats, all of our Glencairns, all of our glassware, including our new Wee Cairns, our Copitas and Rocks glasses, challenge coins, prepare for winter with some hoodies that we got in there, new batch of bottle cut candles, and more on sale at whiskyambitions.com.
Wow, Chad, that's a lot. You can also become a patron at patreon.com/itsbourbonnight, and that's where we are doing giveaways once a week from now to the end of July to celebrate our 7-year anniversary. We'll also be doing a giveaway or two on live, so stay tuned for that. You can join at patreon.com/itsbourbonnight for as little as $1 a month.
You know what? Give us a little more time. We'll be right back. Okay, enough stalling. Let's get to tasting, figure out what's going to be the last one in the championship round. This is Bourbon A. Come on with
I wish
this.
by process of elimination.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to not know. I don't want to know.
This is one of those noses where it smells like it's going to be viscous and have a good mouthfeel. Again, with your caramel vanilla, I think we picked a lot of classic bourbon flavors that have made it this far.
Baking spices.
Syrups.
Just, it's got
a little
the wood
savory.
And it's got a little bit of savory, a little bit of sweet. Yeah. I see why you made it this far.
Okay. Rich, full, fulfilling.
Nice mouthfeel.
Also kind of syrupy. It does have a great mouthfeel.
Hint of fruit notes.
Yes, little citrus pop in there. Some cinnamon spice, maybe a cinnamon black pepper kind of combo spice.
This is so drinkable. It has, it's got some warmth to it. All right, and the final tasting of the finals of the fork. Oh, goodness.
Yes.
Nose-wise, I think these are a great matchup.
They are. I do think B is a little bit brighter on the nose.
Yeah, a little brighter.
I do sort of get more age on B, almost like a little bit of pipe tobacco.
Cake frosting.
You see that?
I'm sure I haven't said that at all on any of the tastings that we've done so far. People will be like, well, last time you didn't say that about it. And I'm like, I don't know. Today.
We changed day to day, though.
Today, I feel this way.
A little bit clove, too. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, this one's not making it easy.
Dang.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm definitely going to have to go back through.
Stunned
Let me get another
silence.
sip of B. As you mentioned, a touch brighter, a little bit more floral.
This one also has a perception of proof.
Spice and proof, yeah. Both of these, I think, are very evenly matched in terms of spice levels.
Yeah.
Maybe B has a little bit more spice. To be honest, I think that everyone, like I said before, I think Rare Breed was kind of the favorite, the darling of this whole competition. And we're trying to not be biased and just choose it, but I really expected it to just have, the carpet rolled out for it to the finals. This is making it tough.
Very. We're back on A. Now might be on nose for B.
A drink's a little lighter, I think. Finish is a little shorter. Proof is nice. Spice level is nice. Going back after having had B, the spice level on A feels lower than B.
Agreed. Yeah, I think B has, I don't want to say the honeymoon is over, but it's in some way that I can't really vocalize dinged A little bit. It's just A wasn't as magical coming off, or drinking it the second time.
I couldn't agree with you more, Chad. After having had B, it's especially going back to A after having had B comes across a lot richer. And again, for me, I'm a big mouthfeel person. I think A has a nice one, but I think B has a better one.
When I first had A, I was kind of like, all right, I think this is it. I think this is the winner.
And that's over.
I think that's that. And then first sip of B, he was like, oh,
wait a minute.
Never mind. It's not going to be that easy.
Yep.
B is stepping out of the shadow of A. And it's like, hey, I'm B, and I'm here to B.
Chad, I'm team B.
B really affected A and kind of took it down and made B shine more. Which is to say, you have a glass of either of these separately, and you're going to be completely happy. No one's going to be sending it back, I feel like.
No one's going to be pouting about it.
Right, but
So you choose.
At the end of the day, I think I am on Team B.
Team B. Team B all the way. Team B is Rare Breed.
Okay. So rare breed.
Not a huge surprise. I gotta tell you what is a surprise, Chad. I did not predict Four Roses Small Batch Select making it this far.
This far? No.
I also didn't predict it putting up.
Such a fight. All right, so here's what we're gonna do.
Wait.
We're going to give ourselves a break. We're going to eat some food. We're going to drink some more water because we want to go into the championship round. Back to what do I always say?
Homeostasis. Even.
I guess.
Wait,
yeah.
so you're saying we're not going to make them wait till another episode to see who wins the bracket tournament?
We're not.
We're going to do it here.
We're going to do round 6.
We're going to do it now.
Well, here we are, folks. It's all come down to this 55 episodes culminating in this moment.
Over several months.
Sarah, 7 years. We've said that earlier. 7 years. It's fortuitous that our very first episode in 2016 was 50 bourbons under $25. Well, we didn't do that this way. That was a flight fight one, and we waited until the last episode to put it out. But this one, we're like, let's show it all, warts and all.
We did get
all
some
the way.
feedback on that early one that people
Yeah.
said, I love this. I just wish I had
wanna
been
see
able
it
to
all."
see all of it. Who could
But
have
hey.
timed it better that the finals was coming out during our anniversary month of our very first bracket back in 2016.
Sarah, do you realize that in the championships, in the big dance, we have a $25 and under winner
It is not lost on me, Chad.
versus a $50 to $75 winner, which means the 25 to 50 and the 75 to 100 plus wild cards not represented here.
I gotta be honest, I'm shocked that
Happy?
a $25 pour, an under pour, made it this far. I thought it was gonna be benchmark foolproof in the final four.
I kind of thought it was going to be $17.92 foolproof, which would have at least been the next price category up. Let's get to it.
Intoxicating.
Yes, literally.
It's just pleasant.
Yeah, smells very homestead. I think what you said.
Homestead. I've said that
Homestead,
before, yeah. A little bit of earthy,
Comfort food.
spice, comfy, snuggly.
Comfort bourbon. Ooh, love it. Okay, here we go.
That is the stuff.
Wow.
That's the stuff. It's just one of those things that
Boom.
it just like it clicks and it
Yeah.
feels right.
Man.
All right, B. This is your final hurrah. Both
mean-
are fragrant. Both have nice notes.
Yes, this one has more of a fruity banana flavor or scent
It's true.
to
Don't put ideas in my head, Chad.
it. To me, well,
I haven't tasted anything yet out of this glass.
caramel, vanilla.
Just go back to base. Go back to base. Caramel vanilla.
Caramel, vanilla.
All right. I still love the flavors on this, and
Wow.
I love the mouthfeel.
Solid.
Look,
Solid.
I'm gonna be real with you. It's impossible at this point not to know what these are.
Yeah. Also, it's kind of over.
Right, I
I'll
mean-
give it a second sip.
Let's not pretend. Also, this was, I feel like, an anticlimactic conclusion to this entire bracket. Like,
But it was really the journey to get here.
it was the journey to get here that is important for me. I wanted to know from each category what was the winner and, like, how things fared against each other. In a blind, controlled scenario like we've done, I think that we achieved that.
Yeah, go back to A.
We're at a point where
Go back to A.
the rare breeds in here with a 100 proof, I mean, like, it's not fair. But,
Sip A.
yeah.
Yep. So Sarah, I'm gonna vote A. We don't need to. We don't
Obviously.
need to put on pageantry.
It's A.
Now it's A.
It's
right?
A, which is rare breed. Who could have guessed?
So that means, folks, the best bourbon, in our humble opinion, under $100 is Wild Turkey Rare Breed.
Which some of you have been saying for a very long time.
Yes.
But now we
It's
can
official.
confirm it. It's
It
official.
is official.
Badge of honor.
Confetti. Confetti. Where's the laser?
Pew,
and
pew,
smoke?
pew, pew, pew.
Yeah. Yeah. Talk about a benchmark, which I know can be confusing because there is a bourbon called benchmark out there, but a measuring stick that we see so many times in the comments. I think one, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof.
Yes.
But the second most suggested is Rare Breed.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I pay X for X when there is Wild Turkey Rare Breed, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, which of course wasn't in this because it's too hard for most people to find.
It's true. I think that's also another reason why when we do our best of the years, we include rare breed year after year as a benchmark port, and it sometimes beats out more than half of those entries.
Usually.
And that's the reason why we keep using it.
We put it in
It's such
there.
a solid thing.
Yeah. All right, folks. Thanks for sticking with us on this long journey. We really do appreciate it, especially the people who have showed up for every episode. We've seen it down there in the comments. We
You have
really do appreciate it.
Patience of gold.
Yes, absolutely. And this has been fun.
It has been.
Don't look for us to do this again anytime soon. Then.
No.
Yeah.
Be careful what you wish for, is
Yeah.
what I would like to say.
Exactly. Now on to other cool
Other things.
projects and things like that. But here's the main takeaway. If you haven't subscribed to us already, you can do so by clicking right up here. There are suggestions of other videos, and they're down here, and we hope to see you over there in one of those. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Chad.
All right. Until next time, drink more,
Rare
rare
breed.
breed.